Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to the space. If you're new, welcome. It doesn't usually look like this. I just thought we'd have a little fire in the backyard. And if you're returning, welcome back. I do hope, no matter where you're coming from, that you enjoy this time and space. Okay, let me feed this a little bit because it took a second to get going. So I want to make sure it keeps going. I just did a bunch of pruning. This year I did a whole bunch of pruning. Last year I kind of let everything grow, right? Just sort of be natural and see like how things developed. And this year was about figuring out how to shape that. Do you know what I mean? Just a minute. There we go, that'll do it. All right, Scorpio. Thank you for being here. Give me a second. I really wanted to drink a glass of wine with you. But I don't find it appropriate in this circumstance, so root beer it is. Ginger beer. Okay. Let's see what's going on, Scorpio. Well, what you want is actually very obvious now. Maybe you were a little bit confused before about what you were wanting, but I feel like things, there will be more clarity in situations. Well, because you know more now. You're able to have more clarity about it, and maybe viewing a situation that used to be, or this is what you could be working through now, I suppose, but where there was something that was deeply emotional and confusing, right? I heard it probably hurt a lot, and now something becomes much more clear and less emotional, seen more practically and practically versus emotionally. Shit, keep going. Let's do this. Everything's still a little bit damp. All right, what do you need, Scorpio? Well, you need a home. You need warmth, comfort, support. I heard from your family, specifically. If for some of you, you cannot find that, or that is not something that's available in the way that you want, then you can also receive this through your friends, like soul family, right? You could also even receive this for some of you via your colleagues, right? Support in that way. Okay. How are you feeling? Oh, Empress. Good. Yeah, you are feeling a lot better. If for some reason this moon is still a little bit, I heard overly available. Well, just remember that you are, Well, I heard allowed to feel good about yourself. Comfortable in your own skin. I also feel like this is a health card too, so there could be something where maybe you're feeling better in general. I feel like there's an overall energy, and I need to emphasize here, if for some reason you're here, and it's because it doesn't feel like this and you want help in figuring that out, then you'll get there. You'll get there. If you are in the midst of something that's kind of hard, it may be more of the, like, getting a little bit more into July. But it's all up to you, because you really, you make the rules, you know? Just a second. Maybe also whatever you're working on does, like, or working through, does take a little bit of effort, intending to something, right? Tending, I heard the space and time, and making sure that your fire, Scorpio, you're ruled by fire, right? You are the phoenix. You come from that. So your own fire, your own light is very important. And because you're nocturnal, well, I guess this may not come natural sometimes. Or it's hard to believe that you deserve that, even when you're in a good space sometimes. Just preparing myself for the future, just a second. Couple seconds. Seems to be burning on the right side, right? It's the left side. That's okay, it'll get there. Ooh, bark. Nice. Okay. What's really going on? Okay, you had the same card as Cancer. So that will definitely give you some indication on if there's anything, whatever you're working through that's more emotional. Okay, what we just talked about. If it's still wherever it is in that emotional space that you're working through, Cancerian energy is going to help you to understand more. Which goes back into home. You have a lot of energy here. Cancerian energy. So we're talking about comfort. And what you want, what you need, and how you feel is that that's something that you want. So if for some reason you're not feeling this way, or again, there's a little bit of I heard a wobbly spot because, I don't know, life does that, or Pluto's in retrograde, or you're shedding your skin and becoming a new person, which happens a lot with you. Well, remember, well, I heard pray to your father, or pray to the father, like a male. Not that there aren't goddesses and gods, right? We have a lot of Empress energy. If you tap into that, feel free. But there's something about the masculine here that's important in helping you to feel comfortable, maybe even safe enough to go more into that softer energy. right? Less scorpion. And then I saw someone petting like a really beautiful golden eagle. It was so soft, and it was way up on the top of a mountain. Oh. Alright, let's see what your strength is. The Ace of Cups. Wow. Wow. What's reinforcing that? The King of Pentacles. It's the other side of you, right? So you like to work, right? It's do things that are physical, create things, fix things, make things. You know, I heard plow things. And clear spaces, right? You're really good. I heard you're a really good pruner. And so regardless of what's going on in your job, it is really important that you, I guess, keep active. Not to busy yourself to ignore what's going on, but to just ensure that what you need, right? Your home, roof over your head, food in your belly, really basic stuff, right, is handled. I also found out a very interesting, I don't know if we can call it a fact, because I don't know how to really cross-reference, fact-check it, but somebody was saying that cancer can connect to starvation. And what is that? When you're starving is when you feel without something. Something that is needed. So maybe if you just take note of what you need right now, and maybe you're really kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We need shelter, water. We need water, food, then shelter. Then we can move into these emotional spaces of growth, right? And as you go along and up the mountain, then you're also able to take that which you've experienced and then help other people. Whether it's, I heard literal, or just, again, just you being happy. Put such a beautiful healing light and energy into the world. I heard especially the way that you well, it has something to do with Venus. It's like love. I don't know, maybe this goes back into the mother. Because I guess even if you're, well, this is interesting. I guess we're just going to talk about it for a second. If a Scorpio sun is at nighttime, then that means that the Scorpio sun always kind of has, or anyone who's Plutonic, also sort of has a Pluto moon, which makes a very strong like bond with the mother, and or any other women really in your life, and that which expresses nurture. I heard or not. Sorry, they're all stuck together. Gotta separate it. Okay. This also shows me that your strength right now is to actually like emotionally soothe yourself, or to find that. Again, if you can't find it in one way, it's available to you via a human. I heard there's ones that are alive, and then there's ones that are gone. And then there's also like spiritual, whatever, again, that I keep seeing it more in a fatherly sense or a male sense. You know, Buddha is masculine, like there's a lot of gods in the world. I would assume like thunder god is masculine, right? Things like this. You've never been so finicky, like with a fire before? Like to try to keep something going. So maybe that's the thing too, is remember when you come across resistance and there's too much of it, if the only way to stay in it is to bring yourself more pain, well, important part is I need you to know that there's always another way to go about something, to achieve something. And again, if you're trying and there's too much of a pushback, I heard take a step back. And I guess look up, pray, ask for guidance. The mirror side of you also, Taurian energy, is also helping you in this time. Let's see what's in your heart. Okay. Before we get in there, let's make sure we get enough energy. One underneath. Quit being an asshole. Ow! I've never tended a fire like this in my life. It's really funny. Well, I guess this is emphasizing that pushback. I mean, look, this is taking effort to do this, right? But this isn't hurting anybody. It's not hurting me. It's not hurting you. And that says a lot, right? That's important. I heard if it's any other way, remember, you always have a different alternative. Okay, Scorpio. Your weakness right now is to hang on to something. Or rather, I guess you only allow things to hang on to you. I heard that's the power of your will. Please know your power. Please believe in yourself. You know, fixing, healing, mending, plowing, purging, growing. It all takes time. So that's part of your strength right now, is to also have patience with yourself, for yourself. And I heard, therefore, the outside doesn't bother the inside so much. This may also help you, for some of you, in ways of your career, perhaps, or how you sustain yourself. Because emotionally and financially, you're kind of the same thing. Now, of course, everybody needs different kinds of that, right? Different levels of that. So what do you need? And I heard again, if you can't get it from your family in some way, then remember, you have friend family, you have like spiritual family. That's all available to you. And remember also that you don't have to wait until, just for future reference, because I do this too. Like, when you're used to certain things, then things can add up. So remember, you don't have to wait until like things are really hard. I heard to pray or ask for help. And I guess because we kind of always get what we ask for, but not in the way that we expect it. However it comes, I guess also be grateful. Maybe this is also, like I heard jobs or, again, whatever you're trying to attain physically. Because you're prepping yourself emotionally to have something physical, right? Something that's solid, something that's long-term. Something that feels good. And I heard, and worthy of your time. Let's see what these top 3 cards are. Oh, wow. Awesome. Just a second, Scorpio. Come on. Don't go out. You know, when practicing something, trying to learn a new thing, or trying to try a new thing, if you try 3 times and it's still the same thing, well, again, I see check in whether, like, if it's not hurting you and it's not hurting somebody else, then that's cool. But still take a step back. I heard so you can figure out what your time's really worth. I'll share a dream with you that I had recently. It was like the 6 steps to success. I only could remember one of them, the first one. And the very number 1 step to success was let me see if I can word it correctly. If you enjoy what you do, then you will succeed. It will succeed. Right? Whatever the task is, right? For instance, again, this has taken more energy, but it's actually kind of fun. And this was also something that needed to get done. Not only you and I and having this conversation, but also getting rid of that which was pruned and dead and set aside, right? The best way, I could have thrown it in the woods, but it would just make a pile and the snakes would probably like it. So I decided to burn it. And that's okay. It feels scorpionic anyway. And it's pretty and warm. Not too big, right? Not scary. And there's something really sacred and old about sitting by a fire, right? So, Scorpio. Well, your overall advice here, the overall energy, you have more Cancerian energy. Wow. The 6 of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So I see if you have any air signs in your life or communicative people you talk to. Again, I feel like this could be work or friend, some sort of circle that you're connected in. Well, people believe in you. And I also feel like there's an emphasis here to whatever you've been feeling. If it's been anything that's murky, it's definitely going to lighten up. I feel like you'll be able to get to the next stage. I also see, if any of you are wondering about work, this also is something that will be expanding, or has the potential to, if you want. But I guess you also want to figure out, or maybe look at what your schedule is these days. And I heard how to fill it with, not fill it to fill a hole, but like, how much of that time is spent, well, I guess doing what you need to do. Maybe this has to do with home, right? Again, it takes a lot to take care of a house, you know. It's a lot of components in there. But I also see this as something like what you want your job to be or how you want your job to feel. This is also day-to-day how you want to feel, Scorpio. And you really do, there is some ancestor or some family member that's like waiting for you to talk to them. if you want to. It's a good one, you know, it's not like it's a supportive energy. You actually have that all around you, you know, and the only difficult card really is this Nine of Swords in the quote-unquote reality. So maybe some of you need new sheets, or you need to rearrange your bed, like where it is, or I would also make sure that you're, I don't know, that there's good light in that space. And whatever you're working through, again, emotionally and in your heart space, well, I want you to know that you'll figure it out. I mean, you already know that you're strong, right? You already know that. But that's tested a lot, right? But I guess remember, because of your power, well, I went back to that reading that talked about thresholds of things, thresholds of pain, or thresholds of what you can handle, what you cannot handle, and being more honest about that, not only with yourself, which is where it starts, but also communicating that with other people. Now, of course, maybe with Pluto in retrograde too, like, pain can never be avoided, uncomfortability or stress or what have you, ultimately. It doesn't, I guess I just keep saying, like, it doesn't, it's lessening is the point. And I do see that you really have help, again, in the human world, in a human that's no longer here, in the angelic, whatever, God kind of world. And I keep seeing, like, yeah, I keep seeing, like, physical kind of energy. For some of you, again, this could be work or your money. Like, remember, when work is slow, or when there's less physical things that are needing to be handled, this is also giving you time and space to process something emotionally. So take advantage of that time also. And I see, again, like, it's almost as if to talk to this ancestor, and I do feel like, well, I guess for some of you it could be a human too, but there's something where, like, you have to stand in the moon, and then you're looking over. And it kind of feels like a magic trick. So I guess there's intention that's really needed to ensure that the energy is directed. I heard, so the other side can hear your call. Interesting. Very interesting, Scorpio. Well, thank you. I do hope you enjoyed the fire. And of course, I hope this was of service somehow, some way. I also see clean the house. Again, like rearrange. This will like switch the energy up. And I do feel like some of you, there's things in the home too that maybe are there things in the home that remind you of things? Or, I don't know, maybe you want to paint the walls or just some kind of change in there. Yes, some kind of change will help, you know, maybe some of you need to set yourself up an office, you know, or, yeah, something of this nature. I heard, please remember how powerful you are. Remember, you're practicing how to use your energy, right? How it works. That's a lot of energy to practice with. So, there'll be times that you burn yourself, but you've already done that a lot. So, you don't have to do that anymore if you don't want to. I heard it's a brand new world for you, Scorpio. Especially if you feel like it is. You know, people working together. I see money in the bank, resting easy, right? Spiritual, good, healthy relationships. And especially if you're, side note, if you're a man, remember, you're ruled by Mars. You're meant to take up a leadership position, right? And if you are a Scorpio female, you still have this power, but because you're a female, it's meant to be used in a bit of a different way. That's also something maybe to learn. Not that there isn't always a softness about you, because that's almost the thing. It's like, I feel like Scorpio females can be really, really powerful and out there, and it's almost like Scorpionic masculine energy is more has a different kind of reserve. And so it's almost like you two have to switch, the sun and the moon have to switch places. And that goes into that person that was like standing in the moon looking out to the sun. I guess there is an eclipse the end of the month too, May. I'm recording this in May for June. But there's also another one in June, right? I think on the solstice. So I heard if anything has to go, don't let it linger too long. Because remember, you're making space for all those beautiful things that you're going to grow. And I guess a part of that is not worrying about whether the seeds will sprout. It's just like tilling the soil. You know what I mean? Preparing for things and feeling good about that work. You know, doing what you can. We always have a capacity to do so much in our lives with whatever's around us, you know, and there is always help. And remember, I told you last month, but you have a friend in Libra, you know, which means that you have relationships that are fair and that you can talk to. And so, yeah, do that, right? Know that you are safe and loved and protected, okay? Please take care of yourself.